Election security concerns from President Trump's primetime address. We are breaking down the claims and why the timing could be significant.
And a weather impact alert stays in place as we are waking up to isolated severe thunderstorms and worsened air quality.
Some drivers in North Idaho are paying less to park this morning, why Sandpoint is scaling back their paid parking enforcement after just 2 weeks. Plus, if you're traveling this summer, we have some tips so you can keep your money safe while abroad. Good morning, everyone. I'm Tim Pham. A lot to get to here on this Friday morning. Today is a weather impact alert day. Let's bring in Jenny Power. We're also taking a live look outside of I-90 and Division there, where you can see some wet roads on the morning commute. Jenny, you're tracking some thunderstorms moving over this area right now. What do we need to know? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Tim. Yes, it is a very active start here to this Friday. So what I'm tracking are some of these isolated thunderstorms that, as we speak, are moving through parts of downtown Spokane, the Spokane Valley area, and shifting further north. Now, these are pretty quick moving systems, but it is producing some rainfall, frequent lightning, and we have been hearing the loud thunder over the KREM 2 studios. So I want to zoom it in here because you can see that this storm cell system is on this northward track. Main threats with this have been that frequent lightning, the downpour rain, and also we've been hearing some reports of some small hail possible, pea-sized hail, and winds near 40 miles per hour. So this is on that northerly track. It's moving at about 35 miles per hour. As we zoom out here and take a look about further north, though, we have been seeing some of these more widespread isolated storms, more scattered in nature, I should say, up toward northeast Washington and through the North Idaho Panhandle, with the main threats of this being some of that frequent lightning and the gusty outflow winds. Unfortunately, we have been seeing critical fire weather danger. Red flag warnings right now have shrunk a little bit, but are still in place for parts of the Okanagan Valley, northeast Washington, as well as the Idaho Panhandle. The other big thing that is most noticeable here does have to do with reduced air quality. This is because we are seeing new fire starts, unfortunately, from last night, and southerly lit winds blowing more heavy smoke across eastern Washington and North Idaho. Moving forward, we'll continue to see these winds from the south, and unfortunately, it looks as though our smoke is going to be more intense moving forward into this weekend. The full details and timing, though, of this active weather and the continuation of this weather impact alert coming up in a few minutes. Tim?
Jenny, we know you'll be tracking it. Here's a live look at the traffic impact this morning from I-90 and Pines, where we are seeing some of those wet road conditions. Jenny just told us that thunderstorm moving over the I-90 core. Here's a look at I-90 in Hamilton, also seeing some wet road conditions. Also, you'll notice that visibility may be reduced this morning, especially along this area because of the smoky conditions. So not a bad idea to have your headlights on if the visibility is reduced where you are. So we will keep you updated here on traffic throughout the show. We bring you updates every 30 minutes. It is very smoky today, so here are some steps you can take to protect yourself and your family. airnow.gov says to know your risk. If you have lung disease, asthma, or heart disease, you could be at a greater risk of experiencing health effects from wildfire smoke. Children and older adults are also at a greater risk. Another tip here is to make a clean air room at your home. So suggestions include using something like a portable air cleaner, check your HVAC filter, and change it out when it gets dirty. And finally, know where to get updated air quality information. airnow.gov is a really good resource, along with SpokaneCleanAir.org. We have links to both of those websites on our website, KREM.com. This morning, firefighters are battling several big fires across the Northwest that are forcing evacuations. One of the biggest fires is burning in Okanagan County, just south of Nispila. The Kaiser Canyon fire has burned more than 2,200 acres and has forced level 3 go now evacuations. So let's pull up the map for you. Here's a look at where those evacuations are. The areas in red are the highest evacuation level. People in this area need to go if they have not already. Then there's the areas in yellow. That's on the level 2 get ready evacuations. The Omak Longhouse is open for people who need a place to stay. And new this morning, a fast-moving fire is forcing evacuations in southeast Washington. The Lions Ferry fire is burning in Whitman County, but also impacting people living in Adams and Franklin counties. The fire has burned at least 3,000 acres. The Adams County Sheriff's Office shared this photo. They report that State Route 26 is closed at State Route 261. An emergency shelter is open at La Crosse schools. With fire danger so high right now, the Washington Department of Natural Resources has banned all outdoor burning on its public lands starting today, and this includes campfires. A DNR dashboard shows there have been nearly 800 fires so far this season, with more than 122,000 acres burned. In addition to campfires, the ban includes the use of charcoal briquettes, liquid gas, and propane stoves. They are allowed, but they need to have the shutoff valve. President Trump took to the airwaves promising a big announcement. In his words, tied to the election security, he alleged interference in the 2020 election from China, an accusation that both Beijing and U.S. intelligence agencies have contradicted. Jared Hill has the details of President Trump's primetime address.
A warning in prime time.
Our elections were left vulnerable.
President Trump doubled down on unsubstantiated claims the 2020 election results were tampered with, announcing the release of newly declassified documents and pointing a finger at China for accessing American voter data,
resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files.
Election law experts note most of that information is already public, and while President Trump didn't say how the data was being used, some question its worth.
There's nothing that anyone can actually do with that information.
In a statement, the Chinese embassy said China has never and will never interfere in the presidential elections of the U.S. Meanwhile, the president also alleged an intelligence community cover-up.
Those responsible for sounding the alarm instead kept the information secret and hidden.
Virtually every document he has cited, the Intelligence Committee, in a bipartisan way, has seen and reviewed.
CBS News found that President Trump also made false or exaggerated claims about mail-in ballots and non-citizens and dead people listed on voter rolls. This as the president pushes Congress to pass the Save America Act, a package of strict voter regulation despite opposition from Democrats and some Republicans.
Give it up. The SAVE Act isn't going anywhere.
I believe it would undermine credibility of our elections than anything that we have to deal with on a year-to-year basis.
All with just over 3 months until midterms. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Right now, Sandpoint is scaling back paid parking. Just over 2 weeks since implementing it, all parking kiosks in 2-hour zones are now disabled. Council members say they've received complaints from community members and business owners who say they have seen significant decrease in sales. Sandpoint City Council apologized to the community and voted to reduce enforcement. You do still have to pay to park at Sandpoint City Beach and city lots. The circus is in town this weekend. Just look for that big tent at the Spokane Valley Mall. Can't miss it. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones live now with a few of the acts this morning. Good morning, Brandon. Tell us what we need to know.
All right, here's what I know. I know I wasn't a huge circus fan until this morning. I've never been to one. This is my first opportunity. We're getting a little sneak peek action. I'm hanging out with Hannah right here. She's letting us know about all of the amazing acts, including one that's happening right behind us. So what do we need to know?
That's right, we're at Cirque Italia Silver Unit Metropolis and we're presenting, as it is behind me, Karina from Brazil presenting her rope act. This is only a sneak peek of what you'll be able to see on this year's tour. Okay. So she's one of our main attractions and look at her go.
Yeah, it's all right, we'll step out of the way, we'll let them get a closer look at this. I've got to pull out my phone as well so I can take a little video. Absolutely. Does this get, how do you get used to seeing this?
You know, it is really a joy to be able to have such amazing co-workers, you know. Look at her go. We have a show every single day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So if you didn't make it out on the weekend, you still have one more chance on Monday. We have shows every day. You can check us out. It's all information online at cirqueitalia.com. Or if you want to come and get your tickets on spot, on site, we have our ticket box office ticket office open since 10 o'clock this morning. So come check us out.
All right, well, this is absolutely amazing. I mean, the strength, the skill. How do you... I don't know how you,
It's a big white tent just off I-90. We're at Spokane's Valley Mall, so, you know, If you haven't got any plans for this weekend, come see us.
These are your plans this weekend. Thank you, Hannah. We appreciate you very much. Come out to Cirque Italia, and you will not be disappointed.
Don't miss this. Look at her. She's gonna do one of these. This is my favorite. She's amazing.
All right.
Well, are you traveling this summer? If you are headed out of town, it's important to keep you and your money safe. We've got some tips to keep your money safe and accessible. And as we go to break, you're listening to Steven Wilson Jr. playing tonight at Northern Quest.